What are the developmental milestones for a 3-year-old child? And what are some red flags for possible developmental delays at this age? This video is all about preparing you for your child's 3-year-old well check and tips on keeping your child safe and well. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Eileen Shi, a board-certified pediatrician. I work holistically with parents who want a child-centered, integrative approach to solve their children's health issues. So if that sounds like you, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. I love 3-year-olds, and this is probably one of my favorite ages because kids at this age are just becoming their own little persons with so many opinions and expressions. And I get to see their mannerisms and personalities really come to life. Your child's well check at your doctor's office at any age is an opportunity for the family and child to review his or her recent health concerns and to discuss any ongoing health conditions that might need more attention. So don't be afraid to speak up. Oftentimes, parents find it helpful to write down some questions they have that they would specifically like to bring up, like skin concerns, behavioral stuff, new supplements, or any dietary changes, because oftentimes you might forget when you're face-to-face with your doctor. All this to say, your child's doctor visit is really centered around your little one and the entire family that works so hard to take care of your little one. And so your pediatrician is really here to support you. At your child's well check, in addition to history and exam, your child's global development is assessed, which covers 4 major domains. Social language, as in the ability to connect and engage with others and be self-sufficient in self-care. Verbal language, which is the vocabulary that your child has and the ability to use words to communicate and construct phrases and sentences to convey his thoughts and feelings. Fine motor development, the ability to have finesse and control in daily activities. And gross motor, which is the big picture movements like ability to walk or jump or go up the stairs. So for a 3-year-old, the social developments that I look for generally are a few things. One is the ability to engage in imaginative play or playing with others interactively and sharing. If your child is starting to potty train, they may be able to do so by going to the bathroom by herself or urinate by herself. Your 3-year-old should be able to dress self with simple items like jackets, shirts, and coats. And your 3-year-old should be able to eat independently, holding some utensils and moving the foods to their mouth. Red flags for this age in social development would be having little to no pretend play and taking little interest in dressing or undressing self and having really no interactive play with other people. Verbal development. Now, at 3 years of age, I'm expecting a vocabulary for about at least 300 words. Your child might be also asking the who, what, where, why, and what questions like, where's daddy, and what's this? Your child should also be using a 3-word sentences like, let's go outside, or mommy hold me. Speech should be 75% understandable to strangers. That means to a bystander listening to your child speak, they may not be able to pick out every single word, but they should understand at least 3/4 of what's spoken. Your 3-year-old can tell you stories and the big theme from a movie, and they should be able to understand opposites like bigger and smaller, taller and shorter. Red flags for this age for verbal development would be a vocabulary less than 100 words. We're saying only 1 to 2 word phrases. These would prompt a discussion with your pediatrician to review if your child would benefit from speech therapy or having other evaluations to really take a look at what's going on. I do want to just put in one note here that while we are talking about social developments and different kind of developmental milestones for a 3-year-old, for every child, there are some leeways so that if your child is not making, let's say, one of the things I'm mentioning, it doesn't mean that they're automatically totally behind. So it's always worth taking in the whole picture. So if you're finding that your child is behind or slightly not meeting the milestones in one of these areas, before jumping to the conclusion, I always recommend checking in with your pediatrician. Moving on to fine motor development. A 3-year-old can draw a circle. They can also draw a person, usually with a head and 1 other body parts, and they should start to be able to cut with child scissors. Red flags when it comes to the fine motor development is the inability to hold a fork or spoon or crayons with our hands and unable to trace a circle. By the way, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you will be notified of future content just like this. Gross motor. Well, what can a 3-year-old do almost? I would say a 3-year-old should be able to start pedaling a tricycle. When they're going up the stairs or steps, they should be able to start alternating their foot and their feet. A 3-year-old can climb on off a chair or onto a couch, and they can jump forward. Red flags for gross motor development may be having the difficulty to walk upstairs and not jumping. At your child's 3-year-old well check, I often take the opportunity to assess and discuss helpful parent-child interactions that are appropriate at this age, such as asking questions to help you understand your child's emotions. Also, teaching your child vocabulary and words that would describe her emotions to help her communicate what she's feeling. A 3-year-old would really like to count, so counting things would be fun to do on a daily basis. And let your child help with meals. Remember to always limit screen time. We recommend no more than an hour a day. And playing with Play-Doh, coloring, and shapes would be a really fun and developmentally appropriate activity at this age. Teach your 3-year-old their first names and age, and schedule some interactive play where your child can meet new people. Lastly, your child's safety is a top concern for any pediatrician. We will likely go over some anticipatory guidance to help you anticipate safety hazards that are common at this age. For safety, I always caution parents on cars, crossing the street, pool safety, and hot water. Also, be mindful of choking hazards. You want foods that are not round and small. That could be a choking hazard. Safety around pets. Car seat safety, we always prefer rear facing as long as your child is still within the weight limit for that seat. And always, when it comes to diet, offer a variety of food that is high in protein, veggies, and fruit. Let your child decide on how much they want to eat and continue to foster those healthy oral habits such as brushing your teeth daily. If you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have some takeaways on what you can do as a parent to have intentional and happy interactions with your child. Having a 3-year-old allows you to see the world through their eyes and imagination, which I think is just such a gift. They're also at an incredible age where they're learning so many new words and expressions and skills, and I hope that you will get to enjoy having conversations with them that help you understand their feelings and thoughts. In our Las Vegas-based practice, we work with families one-on-one, offering concierge individualized care to each patient holistically, minimizing unnecessary pharmaceuticals and treating the root cause. To learn more about how you can work with us, click on Become a Member and fill out the information so that we can schedule a time to chat. Thank you all for watching. See you next time as we navigate the world of holistic pediatric medicine.